Can I ask you a question? Please? Oh my goodness, thank you. All right, I just want to know your thought, right? Your take on, imagine, like I said, for men, if they're celibate for like 3 months, they get all these mental and physical benefits, right? And what if, like in this hypothetical situation, this ideal world, where a whole bunch of men catch on to catch wind of these benefits, and then they move en masse from like dating in general? Would you feel like sort of strange, or would you feel bewildered at that? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Men partaking in celibacy en masse.
Aren't they like low-key doing that anyway?
How so? Based on what information?
I mean, there have been a lot of like articles and stuff coming out about how like after the pandemic, things have like really changed the way that people view casual sex, and the fact that it's like on a down low, because like the idea of like being with a stranger or, you know, engaging in like that sort of behavior is like more taboo now than it was before, and so I think it's kind of already happening. But
so I was playing a little devil's advocate. I sort of know a little bit of this information. So that you were partly correct. I think since post that pandemic, right?
Yeah.
More people have been meeting each other via dating apps, right? And there have been more hookups than ever. But that's only for a small subset of females. Females have been partaking in like casual hookups way more than men. Actually, 60% of men, I think aged between 18 and 35 or something, have reported that they have not had any intimate connection for an entire year and change. It's kind of not surprised. Why so?
I just think also the culture around like viewing, you know, your sexual conquests as like, you know, that being like a prize and being like a source of validation for men is kind of like outdated. I think men have a lot more to offer the world than just, you know, what they can present in terms of that information. And I think a lot of people have a lot more self-esteem around the things that are actually beneficial in their lives than just what they can present that. So so the antiquated nature of a lot of things that men held dear is right. Like why sum a man's value up to like how many bitches he could get? Like
I like that.
That's so stupid.
So boom, I'm gonna reel it back in. So what if celibacy sort of induces like this self-reflection, which it sort of does to some degree?
Yeah.
Would you promote like men going through that in order to become better individuals for the dating market? Right?
I say do it for yourself. Like, if that makes you a better catch, that makes you a better catch. But, like...
Don't do it for us.
If you're doing it for the dating market, you're never doing it for the right reason.
Right. It has to be for yourself first.
It has to be for yourself. Self-growth, the first word is self.
Self, and then growth. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing.
Yeah, so... Yeah, what's
Celibacy for you. Imagine, like... I don't know so much about how the benefits of what celibacy could do for women, but at least for men, it is known that testosterone doubles after a week of celibacy. You get like physical benefits. You know, boxers always talk about it. Athletes, you know, laud this whole thing. You know, being celibate for a while, they can run faster. You know, be better coordinator, whichever.
Right.
Would you undertake celibacy for yourself if there was some sort of benefit in it for you guys? Not necessarily on the same, like, you know, athletic prowess and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I gotta focus on myself, so...
You're about self-growth.
Right, the more that I don't have to focus about other people, like, if that's just who I am, that I'm thinking about others, like, taking the time to think about myself, like, yeah, why not? Like, whatever facet that comes in, if that's celibacy, that's fine. If that's ending toxic friendships, that's fine. Like, if that's ending a toxic workplace, that's fine. You know, at the end of the day, just do what's gonna make you, you know, do best. If celibacy is the route it goes, then go for it. Okay,
you don't think of it as like some crazy radical concept that, like, you know, it's antiquated as with, you know, men viewing women as conquests or whatever. You don't think that's an antiquated concept, celibacy? You think it's something that could be applied in a modern time?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to break out of a broken system to begin with. If the system is saying, like, women are conquests and we don't want to, like, be a part of that, then, like, literally just don't think of that mindset to begin with. Like, you know what I mean? You're still viewing it as a binary if you're saying do this or don't do this.
Right. Okay. I like that. Thank you.
What's this for, by the way?
This is for my YouTube channel. I basically promote, like, celibacy for men, and it brings, like, mental benefits, physical benefits. Like me, I've been celibate for a year. Like, no release whatsoever. Of course, I grew up here. I was sort of brought up in, like, this whole thing where, like, yo, I bagged this girl with this beanie, and she, like, was amazing, right?
Right.
But I understood like there was a lot of other things that needed touching up,
Yeah.
and I decided to undertake the celibacy journey around the same time I started my YouTube channel last
Right
year.
on.
And it's been fire. Like it's been interesting. It's been growing a little bit, and I've been happy with it.
You got to redirect your energy to where it counts.
100%.
As long as that self-growth, like you're doing the right thing. I would say, I don't know if you're a J. Cole fan, but I
Yes,
am.
Yes, I am.
If you listen to For Your Eyes Only, you pay attention to the last 3 songs, like, I feel like there's no greater message in that than, like, especially his last song, like, you know, saying, like, what, you know, I thought mattered originally didn't, and that's why I'm here, and if that's the reason I'm not here anymore, then, like, so be it, but you don't have to continue that legacy for me. So break the cycle, do what you gotta do. Like,
I feel that, but what if, right? I'm sorry, you know, you introduced another question. Like for men, I think a lot of us are feeling very, very disconnected and like scattered in a world that sort of caters more to like, you know, women, right? And maybe I try to promote celibacy as a way to get on that journey of self-reflection and self-understanding on how to navigate through systems like this.
Yeah.
Right? Inspirational songs, inspirational literature is good, but I always just talk about like celibacy first because it helps with like the control of like urges and your impulses.
Yeah.
And it induces and accelerates that self-reflection.
putting a label on something makes it easier to understand. If it gets the message across at the end of the day, like, it still serves the same benefit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
got it. Okay.
yeah.
Right.
That's
Long
how I
whatever the
feel.
vehicle is for self-growth, whether it be
Right.
celibacy or like drinking until.
Right. If you gotta call yourself sober to be sober, then literally do that.
Interesting.
You know.
Okay.
I mean, personally, I don't really drink, but I don't consider myself sober. But I don't need to call myself sober to be sober. But if you have to, that's fine.
Got it. Different strokes for different folks, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I like that.
If you gotta label it, you label it.
Thank
Just
you.
work
Thank you
on
so much.
yourself. Have a good
For
one.
sure. Yeah, you too. Thank you. Thank you. Right. All right. We got some good stuff. All right. Ultimately, you got to grow. It's all about evolution, development, right? But we're learning that celibacy may be one of many vehicles. There is just not one panacea, one sole elixir, cure-all for the ails that bother the individual, the male, right? Interesting. We're learning a lot of stuff, man. We're learning a lot of stuff. We're getting a little bit deep inside the mindset, the zeitgeist that produce these mindsets in the individuals that live in this world, right? And they live in this town, this city. So we're gonna ask a couple more questions, man. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.